How much did you do in signings in 2023?
$158,000. I'm so grateful, so grateful. And if I can do it, you sure the heck can.
Another episode of On the Road with the Loan Signing System here with Loan Signing Agent and LSS Student Signing Agent Melissa. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. I'm so
Good.
nervous, but so excited.
Oh, well, thank you for doing because I know your journey is as inspiring as anybody else out there. What great city and state do you reside in?
Tempe, Arizona.
Arizona in the house. Okay, so let's just get the inspiration right out of the gate. What was your gross revenue? How much did you do in signings in 2023?
$158,000.
When I say back to you that you did $158,000, Melissa has, how does that make you feel?
There's not even any words to explain. It's just, I'm so grateful, so
Mm.
grateful. And I hope I can help the next person. It's doable.
I love it. Grateful is such a great, great word. I mean, look, I have students that I share these stories with where it took 12 months, 2 years to break six figures. Nope. My girl Melissa hit it right out of the park year one. But what I think is cool about your journey is you're beyond a definition of consistency. So
Mhm.
before we get into your numbers, I just talk about, let's take everybody back. So what was that in your life? Take us back. You've been a loan signing system for 5 years. So take us back 5 years ago from the beginning. Where were you at mentally, financially? And let's just talk through your journey to inspire some people.
Oh, it was tough, living paycheck to paycheck. I was working full time. I had a part-time job, going to school full time. I'm a mom of an amazing 15-year-old and a wife, and just living paycheck to paycheck. Mom, what's for dinner? I We have to wait till dad gets paid. It was a lot. It sucks as a parent, because failing isn't an option when you're a mom, and I hate having to tell him, sorry, we can't, or wait till next payday. It's tough, and it wasn't easy, but we got through it, and I was grateful to be introduced to, the loan signing system because I just, yeah, it was tough.
And I smile because I want to ask the question, how does your son look at mom now?
uh, like, mom, look where we used to be. And he
Mm.
tells me that all the time, like, I know he's one of my biggest fans, besides my husband, but I know he almost every day, mom, look where we used to be. And I'm like, yeah, Angelo. So yeah, it's really cool to see because now, with him being 15, he's able to see where we were. And he's like, I don't want to live like that, mom, and it's really cool. And then here we are 5 years later, and he's like, mom, like, it's cool to see, like you used to be the notary that took the signings for $35, and you were so happy. And now they're 200, 250. He's like, mom, so it's just really cool to share my journey with him.
I think a lot of people just look at the money. Like, oh,
Yeah.
the money might be great. The money is really not the best part. The money is great, but it's having your son say those words, right? It's having a relationship, marriage that is financially less stressful. So talk about that if you would.
Oh, we were so stressed, there was so many arguments and just, blame and just
Mm.
guilt, because you don't get married to get divorced, like it's through thick and thin. And now he's like, even before, like, you can do it, you can do it. And, there was a few times, like at the beginning, where I first started and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. And he's like, nope, we invested in the loan signing system. You're gonna be okay. and I'm glad because he was like, just stick it out, it's gonna come. You're a goal getter. And now he looks, he's always looked at me like that, but he just smiles and he's like, wow, like look at where you came. And one of
Mm.
my biggest clients is because he gave me an idea of taking these donuts that we have, they're vegan. And he's like, try to take these. And I was like, So I took them, and sure enough, the following week, you know, I I was super grateful that I listened to him because till this day, she's one of my biggest clients.
It's not just the money that makes this business great. I mean, let's talk about your son is now 15, so 10 to
Mhm.
15 years old. There's a lot of growing that happens in those 5 years, right?
Yeah,
But you're able to be with him when you needed to be with him because you own
mhm.
your own business. Talk about that part and being there as a mom and being present.
Yeah,
Talk about
yeah.
that journey for the past 5 years.
There's a big joke that goes around our family, and it's like, when Christmas comes or birthdays come, and the very first year I was like, well, Angelo, I gotta ask my boss if I can have time off. And he gave me this look and he kind of paused and he's like, Mom, you are the boss. And I was like, yeah, so it's really cool because no matter, holidays or birthdays, or even his baseball games, like I have to ask the boss and he'll just give me a grin and shake his head like, Mom, you are the boss, so it really melts my heart. Like he's an amazing kid.
You're an amazing mom.
Thank you.
If we look back, it's like that resilience you had as a mom is the resilience you have as a business owner. And so sometimes we have to go through things we don't realize we're going through to prepare us for the moments that are ahead. We're going to talk about your resilience in this conversation, but it's really cool to hear your other side of the story because I know how amazing your business is, but now hearing what you shared with me, it's like, oh, I get it. Like I totally get it. Now I get why, what we're going to talk about, marketing the same person for 2 years or 3 years. Like I know why it is, right? It's ingrained in who you are. It's like I'm not going to go back. This is what I got to do. I'm mama bear, and so,
Yeah.
um, thank you again for your vulnerability. And I asked you to share that because there is a mom. Maybe it's a brand new LSS student who is where you used to be, and so if there is a mom who is where you used to be, where saying we have to wait until dad gets paid to have dinner or to go out to dinner or whatnot, like and they feel like it's just dark and there's nowhere to go, what would you say to that mom right now who's where you used to be?
It's doable, like you may get told 10, 15, 100 times I've been told, no, 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 sorry. But it's just a consistency, when you're a parent, things just hit you different. And, you're any mom out there or any parent out there that's, I can't fail my child. It's doable, you know, it's doable. It's an amazing program. And as long as you stick with it, it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it was easy and I just walked in, and it's not. It's consistency. And, if you have it in the back of your head, I can't fail. I have to put food on the table. You'll get through it. You really will.
If Melissa can build this business, can anybody build this business and why?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The business is out there. If you go into one office, they're, oh, I use so and so, or I'm not taking any more notaries, or whatever the case is, that's okay. Go on to the next one. And Mark is so good at teaching you this. You may get 5 no's, but you may get 2 yeses, and that's okay. Stick with those 2 yeses. Market the heck out of the office because I'm sure they're like, oh, here comes Melissa again. Here comes Melissa again. But no, like, give me a chance, please. So, yeah,
No, I'm so proud of you, Melissa. Like this is an
thank you.
incredible story. You're so welcome, and like I said, it's crazy how our past really does set us up for our future if we just kind of allow it to. And I think you have, right? Like you just said, I could not fail, and that attitude is why you haven't failed. So look, I'm gonna be honest with everybody watching right now. Sometimes I do these episodes and I'm like, oh, it took him 2 years to make $100,000. Melissa's been kicking butt and taking names since day one. However, I'm going to get into an income journey right now. So the first year in your business, 2019, how much money did you make your first year?
100,000.
And then COVID hits 2020. How much money you make in 2020?
120,000.
And then COVID, end of COVID, the last year, 2021, how much you make in 2021?
120,000.
And then in 2022, how much do you make?
125,000.
And then last year, 2023, how much you do in gross revenue? How much?
$158,000.
$158,000. Now, if I do the math, you have made a business that has grossed nearly $600,000 in 5 years. Like when you stop and look at that number, like, dude, what do you think?
It just blows my mind. Like, I thought $80,000 is like, then I was gonna go to school to do something that was like, eh. But to know, like, I'm a notary, loan signing agent slash loan signing system student, like, it blows my mind. Blows my mind.
Incredible. Okay, so let's take people through it, right? So it's 2019. You're doing $100,000 in your first year. What do you attribute your success to right out of the gate?
Again, I can't fail. I don't want to go back to a 9 to 5. I don't want to. I'm not going to.
How much of that business was direct, and how much was it versus signing service your first year?
Oh, it was all signing service.
Oh.
All signing service.
What do you attribute making so much money through signing services in 2019? Was it creating the relationships with the signing service owners? Was it taking everything like your son said, $35? There's a mindset of like notaries, or you shouldn't take $35 signings versus seeing it as experience versus seeing it as building a relationship. Like talk us through that first year.
Oh yeah, it was all about building relationships. Like I would sign up on the platforms. I didn't care if the signing was 45 minutes away, an hour away. I just wanted the experience. And yeah, I may have gotten $35, sometimes even $15, but I'm not going to turn down a signing. Like those will add up, like, so what if it's 35 or 15 and I wanted the experience.
Well, I think you said something earlier. I mean, in the sentence where it's like it's about building a relationship. $15 quick claim signing could equal $10,000 future business because you took that $15 signing, you showed gratitude, you executed, you scanned docs, all the other things. And so it's because I think a lot of time early signing agents are very short-sighted, but you were playing the long game. And
Mhm.
to me, it wasn't almost the long game. It was the now game. Like,
Yeah.
what do I got to do now to build a relationship? And I want people to hear that. And so thank you for letting people know that you still grossed $100,000 in year one all through SS. So you made 120 in 2021 and you made 125 in 2022. So you technically made more money when interest rates doubled. What was your mindset when interest rates doubled? And then more specifically, what did you do to make sure that you were going to make as much money, if not more? What's that answer?
Of course, I panicked like everyone else did, like it did cross my mind, like what else should I start doing? But again, going back to my why, there wasn't room to fail. And if if you didn't see my business cards in offices and I was doing something wrong, I marketed the heck out of my business because I'm my biggest fan. I know that Melissa can't fail. So I marketed, and here we are.
If you didn't see my card, I did something wrong.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's break that down. And what I love about you is like that sentence was so just organic and authentic. There's two things I want everybody to hear. You realize it was meant to be, it was up to me. It had nothing to do with interest rates. If
right.
you didn't see my card on your real estate desk, on your escrow office, on your like that was my bad.
Yeah,
Okay. And so what I heard too is this insane level of accountability.
yeah,
I did something wrong. You didn't point your fingers. It wasn't interest rates are higher. Everyone else is winning but me. It was inter-reflection. I did something wrong. I
yeah,
think the first thing signing agents do is they blame it on everybody but themselves. High interest rates. Oh, the market's saturated. I can't make money. there's only $20 signings. But you had this, I did something wrong if everybody where I live didn't hear of me.
Yeah.
I hope everybody heard that because you said it so just authentically. Like if people didn't, if anyone didn't see my card, I did something wrong. I want everyone to hear that because you made more money when interest rates doubled. This business is all about effort, and I can't. And the signing agents like yourself who make the most just give the most effort. It's not rocket science. What it is accountability.
Yeah.
What it is having a why big enough to push you through your fear. You said specifically, I was going to quit. I thought of other things, but then it hit me. I can't fail. Then it hit me. I thought of my son.
I, had to go out there and market, and nobody else is going to do it for you. Nobody else is going to do it for you. It does not matter the interest rates. They're just numbers.
Oh, they're just numbers. This is so good. So look, more. Let's go to 2023. You know, you did $158,000. The average interest rates last year were 7 to 8%, but yet you made $158,000 in signing revenue. Why?
I heard 100 no's. Nope, I have who I use and that's just it. But I consistently, I didn't give up. I would have lunches, and it's okay if so and so didn't use me. But eventually, for 2 years, I go into this office. I was able to connect with, you're not going to be for everybody. You're not, and if you were, then tell me who you are and let me know, but you're not going to be for everybody. And I had clients in this particular office, and some of them were like, nope, I use who I use. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Well, 2 years back to back, I'd have lunches just to say thank you, or drop off goodies. So what if you didn't use me? You're still getting a goodie bag, it's okay. And here we are almost 2.5 years later. And she goes, I like you. She goes, you grew on me. And I was like, well, thank you. And she's thrown me, I'm not her first, which is okay, but she'll throw me signings, and that's all I can ask for. Hey, give me a chance. And this particular escrow officer was happy, and she's like, well, you grew on me. So
You marketed to some clients that are current clients for over 2 years.
yeah.
Like, so what's happening is you're getting the snowball effect. You're getting the hockey stick effect. You're putting all the effort in and knowing that, I have a base business, but as I get more referrals, as my marketing starts happening, I start growing exponentially. And so the reason you made $158,000 is because of the effort you put in 21 and 22. I want
Yeah.
everybody to hear that. People see the 160 and they're like, oh, what did you do? You're like, no, no, no. What did I do 2 years ago is what you should be asking me. And I
Yeah.
don't think enough people understand. That's why I do these interviews. It's like you're reaping the rewards in 2023 of the effort you started in 2021. You started in 2022. And
Yeah.
that is what I think everybody needs to hear more of. And look, they look at you and they go, what do you have that I don't? And the answer is consistency and patience.
Mhm.
That's it. It's consistency and patience. How many
Yeah.
times in your career, 5 years in, $600,000 later? I love that. I'm so happy about it. How many times have you heard, "Oh, I'm using somebody else. Oh, I already have a notary." And why doesn't that like just deter you?
Gosh, if I had a dollar for every time I heard no, it probably, beat my record 158,000. But that's cool they have a notary, but that notary is going to go on vacation. That notary may get sick. That notary may not have enough business, and they have to go back to a 9 to 5. So they're not going to be available like they were when the
Mm.
market was crazy in 2020, 21, so their notary or whoever they use, they're not going to be available all the time. They're not, and that's how I was able to somehow get into this escrow officer that I've been marketing for 2 years, where whoever she was using had to go on vacation or something happened where she was like, Melissa comes in here a lot, so yeah, I
Well, what
just,
I heard is somebody who truly understands the ebbs and flows of the business. And I want everybody to hear that, especially the new LSS Nation. If you really understand how the business works, and what you said I thought was really cool, is you understand that if it gets slow for someone, sometimes they leave the business and you swip right back in. You just kind of replace that spot. But it's understanding that people go on vacation. It's truly understanding this. It's not kind of. It's not like just lip service. You know that people go on vacation. They get sick. They go on their children's baseball games, etc. And you know there's going to be a moment where if you've marketed enough, you can slide in the back and be like, oh, she's been here 12 times. Let's give her a shot. And that one shot leads to 20,000 more dollars in the future. The accountability you have for yourself is incredible. And it just sounds like a mama bear who knows that if everything is up to me, I got to take the actions. And so if everyone doesn't have my card, I did something wrong. Such a good statement. Anything you want to end to help somebody on their journey of building their signing service, signing agent business like you?
Yes, don't give up. It's all about consistency. And it's okay if you hear no, 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 no. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Don't just walk out the door and say, "Oh, they told me no, I give up. Here's everything. Take it, I'm going back to my 9 to 5." It's okay that you hear no. I heard it a lot of times. I still hear it today. And it's okay that you hear no. Just don't give up on yourself because at the end of the day, all you have is yourself. And if you fail, it's because you chose to. It's okay to hear no's. It's okay.
If you fail, it's because you chose to.
Yeah.
Wow. You are dropping fire today, girl. Ask every successful signing agent on these episodes. If your best friend was like, girl, I need one piece of advice to really take my signing agent business to the next level. What would that one piece? I know we talked about a lot of it so far, but there's something that can you think of that could help a signing agent right now, regardless of where they are in their journey, if they want to be the next Melissa?
To get some kind of education. If somebody came to me and said, Melissa, I want to start my loan signing system business. Okay, well, there's courses out there, but I believe in the loan signing system. That's what I took. So get your ass up here and let's do the loan signing system. That's big.
You know,
Honestly, I wouldn't be here without your system. I wouldn't, and like I said, I waited and waited and waited and being introduced like, oh, look at Mark Wills, and I'm like, okay, who's this guy? So started following, started learning, and that's a
well,
big
I want to say that I love you. Thank you for the flowers, but you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Like
thank
if
you.
everyone didn't have my card, I did something wrong. I literally wrote that down right here. It is so powerful to me. Like I gave you the tools, but you used them. And a lot of people hear the word no and they walk the other way. They don't ever come back. You did. And so thank you for the words. I love it. But I want everyone to hear that this conversation is from a businesswoman who just understands that everything is meant to be. It's up to me. If I had to be honest with you, I think that's your best piece of advice is looking yourself in the mirror and asking yourself, did I do enough today?
Because all you have is yourself, and if you want change in your life, then make that change, like I chose, like I was working darn near two full-time jobs, a part-time job, being a mom, being a wife, like that's a lot. And if I can do it, you sure in the heck can. Like, like just going back and like hearing you say those numbers, like it's incredible. And I I know I'm my biggest fan and I can't fail. I can't and I won't.
I'm writing it down. You said something that I'm so proud of you being able to say is I know I'm my biggest fan. Like you got to, and you got to know what you're capable of. And sometimes I hate the phrase "fake it until you make it." I hate it. I think we show up the best we can. What is your advice to help people come to that realization that they need to be, or then they are their own biggest fans?
It just goes back to the accountability, marketing yourself. You give us the tools to go out there, but it's putting your authenticity, your being authentic, when you go out and market and, you know, why they should use you. And again, it's okay, you're going to hear a lot of no's, but this business, it's for a lot of people, it's for the ones that are determined that nope, I'm not going back to the 9 to 5. I can't, I won't.
Earlier in this conversation, you also said not everyone's going to use me. And you said something along the lines of like you just got to find the people you're supposed to work with. How did you understand that? Like, I just got to go find the people that I connect with and not take it so personally if I don't connect with every single person I meet.
It's gonna hit you, because it still hits me like, oh, what did I do? What did I do wrong that they don't want to use me? But I've learned early on, you're not gonna be for everybody, and that's okay. It's always what can I do for you? It's never what can you do for me. The quicker that somebody realizes that, this business is gonna just take off tremendously, and it did for me. And I learned that very early on that it's not about I. It's my fault if I didn't go market, but it's not what can you do for me because it's not me.
What can I do for you?
Yeah.
And that the beautiful part about these episodes, if you watch enough of them, the what can I do for you really is almost a common denominator amongst all successful LSS students. And the fact that you just said it organically is when we realize that this business is bigger than us, is when everything
Hmm.
changes. You said the business builds itself. If someone was where you used to be and now you're out on the other side, what would you say to a mom, to an LSS student who's where you used to be to encourage them that the light is here and they can get there?
It's okay that, again, that you may be on the fence, like, oh, she's fluffing, but again, there was many times where I cried, and you feel like such a failure. And once you get, a handle on, okay, I'm going to go out there. I'm even taking a box of cookies is okay, or just get out there, stop holding, because you're your biggest critic, you're going to hold yourself back. Stop holding yourself back.
But what you said is when you just make a decision.
Yeah.
And I think that is, I actually think that is what holds a lot of people back is they're so indecisive.
Mhm.
That's why they haven't moved forward. That's why the business isn't building. It's like you said it best, and it's just make a decision. So thank you for that. And if anybody watching, like you can build this business like my girl here. It's I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I mean, these numbers are incredible. I mean, before we get into the last question, I'm looking down at your income journey here, and it's like this, you are a picture of consistency.
Mhm.
You're a picture of no excuses. Like you have not made less than $100,000 since you joined this business, and it's not because of COVID. It is because you chose. It has nothing to do with interest rates. Everything has to do with me. And so for that, I am just so honored to be a small part of your journey, because you're a brilliant businesswoman. You're someone who has unwavering self-belief of what they're capable of, and just full of accountability. It's incredible. So let's get to this last question. So you're 5 years in, going on year number 6. I mean, like, come on, girl, like you're going on year number 6. It's crazy, right? um so you're going on year number 6. If you could look back on your journey, right, is there something you wish you would have done sooner, something you wish you would have done different to expedite the success that you had? So speaking of somebody else here, so it's like what is it for you if there was a moment that you could be like, hey, I wish I just would have acted quicker, I wish I would have done that? What would that be for you?
It would have started my journey a lot sooner, asked the right questions, really dug into, okay, what do you mean I can make $100 watching somebody sign? Not just taking, oh, this is what I do, but again, it's my fault I didn't start sooner. And I just didn't know the right questions to ask. And then once I
Mm,
dove in and got a little bit of an understanding, then I was able to know more about the loan signings, loan signings, and then the loan signing system. Because I had no idea what this was. I was just told that, oh, you watch people sign, you can make X amount of dollars. I didn't understand that. I thought that's gimmicky. Like, okay, like I'm just going to watch somebody sign. So it was just I guess, knowing what I know, wish I would have known what I know now.
Well, it almost was too good to be true. And
Yeah.
because of that, you became skeptical versus what
Yes.
you just said is ask the right question. So let's say someone now is like, there's no way she made $600,000 in 5 years. There's no way she made $158,000. And so you understand someone's skepticism. You get it. But
Hmm.
you said something of along the lines of, I didn't know what to ask. What would you ask? Like if someone's like looking at this conversation, like, oh, there's no way this lady made $160,000 last year in revenue. What are the questions someone should ask, or why shouldn't someone be so skeptical? Because you're the perfect person to ask that to because you were skeptical.
Yeah. Like, where do I start? Because I was just given information. Just go follow Mark Wills. And I'm like, well, what does Mark Wills do? Is like, I didn't know anything about your training. Nothing. The loans, I knew nothing. Well, I was an underwriter. I used to underwrite the documents, but I wasn't on the funding side. So that was really weird to me. Like, it just felt real gimmicky. Like, I don't believe it. I, I don't know, and then again, Mark Wills took me to the loan signing system, and then that's when my journey started.
What I heard was, don't be afraid to take a chance.
No,
Right? That's kind of how I want to summarize it. Is like, you were skeptical because you were afraid to take a chance. And sometimes the biggest risk is not taking a risk at all. And so you end up
yeah,
betting on yourself after a year and a half, like, okay, I kind of get it, so I'm going to try. But had you just
mhm,
kind of bet on yourself earlier, taking a chance, taking a risk, that is essentially what you wish you would have done sooner.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right, well, let's wrap up with this, man. I mean, thank you again so much. Like, I'm so proud of you. So, you have a
Thank you.
signing service. What is the name of the signing service?
It's 1111 Notarias. And the meaning behind that, really quick, is me and my husband got married 11/11/11. So we wanted to, have something start with that. And then notarias is a Latin word. It's notarias. And if you do a little bit of research, you'll know that notaries back then, that's what they were called. So
Oh, that's
put it all
great.
together.
So she obviously hires loan signing system students first and foremost. We'll put a link down below to sign up for her signing service in this
Yeah,
conversation. Look, I just want to say thank you. I want to say I'm proud of you. I want to make sure you hear me crystal clear. Your journey's just started, like
thank
just
you.
started. That Melina Foyne Mayer, Irene, like you are beyond capable of being as big, if not bigger. So make sure you keep pushing for the stars, keep believing in yourself, and know that Irene and Melina are not just inspirations, but you are going to be them. So don't forget that, okay? I believe in
Thank
you
you.
so much. You're so welcome. Any final words? I'm going to give you the final words on the way out.
If you're on the fence of taking a step of doing, loan signings or notary public, of course everyone's going to be scared, but it's okay that you hear no. It's okay. Just start, stop dragging your feet. Just start. I promise it's not a gimmicky thing. Take it from me. I'm the one that thought like, oh, there's no way. But trust me, as long as you stick with it, you're your biggest fan at the end of the day. And I'm so, so grateful. So grateful.
11,
Thank you.
11 Notarias in the house. Well, girl, I appreciate you. So much love to your family. So proud of you.
Thank
And
you.
I will see you at the next conference.
You
Bye.
got it. Bye.